This is the Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa, Oklahoma now. A century ago, in the years leading up to 1921, it was one of the few parts of the U.S. where blacks were prospering. So this is a photograph of Greenwood before the massacre.
Correct. It was taken in 1918, and as far as we know, it's one of the only ones in existence.
The area was so prosperous they called it Black Wall Street. Michelle Place is executive director of the Tulsa Historical Society.
Black Wall Street was a main street, if you will, in our African American community. It began about the turn of the century of the early 1900s.
During that era, blacks were barred from most white businesses. In Greenwood, black businesses and black customers formed a largely self-reliant community.
And so it's this pooling of their resources and their talents which helped the Greenwood district and ultimately Black Wall Street to prosper. It's said that a dollar would change hands 19 times within the Greenwood community before it would be spent outside.
But this also attracted the jealousy of whites.
Greenwood residents had built multi-story homes. They drove automobiles. They wore exquisite clothes and lots of furs, all of those signs of wealth. And so here are whites looking across and seeing all of that prosperity. So certainly the jealousy is there. If I don't have it, they certainly don't deserve to have it.
In 1921, racial tensions exploded when an angry white mob descended on Greenwood, wiping out Black Wall Street. More than 1,200 homes and businesses were destroyed. The death toll is unknown, but historians estimate up to 300 people may have been killed. Thousands more African Americans were rounded up and sent to temporary internment camps. In the years after the Race Massacre, some of Greenwood was rebuilt, but by the end of the 20th century, the neighborhood had fallen on hard times. Today, Greenwood is on the upswing again. New businesses are opening, many of them black-owned. Businesses like Black Wall Street t-shirts and souvenirs.
Yeah, so this shirt is actually what started the t-shirt ministry business that I have. Kill Racism, Not Me.
Cleo Harris is the owner. He's been studying the massacre for decades.
Yeah, it was war. It was an act of war on people of color, the so-called African American, the Negro.
He wants to see Greenwood thrive again. He has no illusions it will be easy. He knows African Americans still face systemic racism.
We are still being oppressed. We are still being afflicted with those who govern us. It's not called white privilege. It's called white advantage. We don't control the government. We don't control the bankings. We don't control media. The white corporate, the white Europeans control all of that.
He thinks Greenwood deserves more government investment, a way to begin to right the wrongs that happened here a century ago.
You know, history always repeats itself when you don't atone.
But he says if this stretch of road once again becomes a Black Wall Street, it will be because of the hard work and determination of black people. Jim Spellman, CGTN, Tulsa, Oklahoma.